Hey guys, welcome back to Human Condition. This video is another video in our astrology series. This video is what does it mean to be a Libra ascendant? A Libra ascendant, first we have to talk about what it means to be an ascendant sign. Ascendant sign suggests there's 12 houses. It suggests 12 houses are linked to different 12 aspects of our lives, life experiences. Obviously, there's a ton of other things that impact our life experiences as well, of course. And also suggests the ascendant itself, the first house, is our actions and how people perceive us. So with the Libra ascendant, these are like the Leonardo DiCaprios of the world, the Rizzlers of the world. And this is because Libra is a sign associated with friendships, romantic relationships, and diplomacy. So with the first house in Libra ascendants, you can notice a lot of these people, kind of with the Libra ascendant, they're really cool. They get along with a lot of people because they're very friendly. So a lot of times with the Libra ascendant, these people, opposite to like Aries ascendant, which are very distinct personalities, Libra's ascendants, you see the best versions of yourself through them, kind of, or just yourself in general through them. Libra and Pisces ascendants are really good at like kind of mirroring, because Libra is very you oriented. So how a Libra acts is very one-on-one direct. What are you looking for? Whereas Aries is more like what is I oriented. Libra is you. So that's kind of how they act. They're very one-on-one friendship oriented when they go about and people perceive them as very friendly and kind of see themselves through them potentially, in my opinion. The second house is ruled by Taurus, the sign of love and money and friendships. So this suggests where financial gain comes from and their friend groups. So for a Libra ascendant, this is in Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign of intimacy, death, and transformation, which I know sound kind of intense, but just means it's the most intimate romantic sign, potentially. It's also a sign of personal growth and development and deep one-on-one emotional connections. So this is the second house, financial gain. It suggests, since Libra kind of makes sense, Libra kind of can rely on other people sometimes. They might rely too much, because Libra might rely on their friends too much sometimes. So it suggests that financial gain might come from friendships, or their one-on-one friendships, or more importantly, like Libra is about one-on-one connections with people. So this is an emphasis on romantic relationships. So financial gain might come from their romantic significant other potentially, or a lot of times a big portion of their finances or their one-on-one friendships. However, it can also suggest that they have a job where, like a therapist potentially, where they make deep emotional one-on-one connections with people, and their finances come from their own personal growth or helping someone else achieve their personal growth. That's how they achieve their finances, like kind of like a life coach. They'd be good life coaches. Libra ascendants, any job with deep one-on-one emotional connections is a good way how they make their finances. Or it could suggest their personal growth helps them be more financially stable, potentially. The third house is in communication intellect. So what the Libra ascendants usually talk and think about. So for a Libra ascendant, this is in Sagittarius, which is learning new things and traveling. So for a Libra ascendant, these people are probably pretty good at school with their grades, because what they're talking and think a lot about is what they know and what they've learned in life. Opposite to Aries ascendant, which is more about their opinions. They speak more about facts and like statistics and facts, what they know. And they might be good teachers, also a good field for a Libra ascendant, and they might like to travel potentially. And when they do, that's one thing they talk a lot about, is when they travel, about the traveling, or talking about traveling in the future. For a Libra ascendant. The fourth house is ruled by Cancer, which represents past home and family. And this is in Capricorn. So this suggests potentially, obviously, other things impact this. However, their family upbringing and how it affected them. So with Capricorn is the sign of future success, hard work, and discipline. So when they got early life, they might have felt a lot of responsibility put on them, and within their family potentially. Uh, and this responsibility they carry on with life emotionally. So meaning they feel they're very good with work ethic and responsibility because it was instilled in them at a very young age potentially. So they're very job oriented emotionally and work hard emotionally, good work ethic. Uh, and they could have been like an older sibling because or something in the family that has a lot of like the family might rely on them a lot. Um, the fifth house is in Leo, which is represents creative expression, one-on-one creative expression and self-confidence, ego potentially. So with this Libra, um, the fifth house is in Aquarius. This kind of makes sense because the first house is one-on-one friendships. Um, so creative expression. Um, they the one-on-one creative expression is societal based. So they might be talking about they might talk a lot about societal problems, um, potentially, and it's a very like when they have one-on-one conversations. It's not one that necessarily boost each other's egos, and more actually their conversations actually humble each other, because when a Libra ascendant, someone talks to the Libra ascendant, they might feel um, potentially in a way like they want to change the conversation to them because the Libra ascendant's so direct and like you oriented. The person might start feeling like with their one-on expressions with each other that I feel like I'm taking up all this time I really want to get, but I haven't really got to know this person. So it's like kind of like a humbling experience, like in a good type of way, with a Libra ascendant because um, they both try not to take up the conversation too much, and they both most of their people feel comfortable talking to them about like societal problems because they're very nice. It's a very nice sign, and they talk to people about societal problems potentially. House is Virgo is work ethic and reality, opposite to the 12th house, which is dreams and desires. The reason this is because the 12th house represents what like ascendant sign, which is a really cool house. That represents what ascendant sign truly desires and wants secretly, their dreams, their hopes. This sixth house represents the actual reality. So with the Libra ascendant, their 12th house is in Virgo. They want to be hardworking and be good at small talk, and this is because um, they potentially have a hard time um, with small talk, and even though they have a good work ethic, they might have a hard time always applying this. And this is because the reality, the sixth house, is in Pisces, which represents self-sacrifice and self-isolation, which sounds kind of intense, but just means a strong sense of empathy in their daily life because how friendly they are. So their job and the reality is more focused on their imagination, empathy, and giving up one's desires for other people. So their jobs they might be very good at social work and jobs that require you to give up a lot for other people. But in reality, their desires actually be more or less imaginative and more practical, because they have a big imagination, and the work ethic may be more about pursuing their dreams but having a hard time being practical, even though they have a good work ethic. And struggle with the job because they have a hard time being practical sometimes, even though they have a good work ethic. Seventh house is friendships. So this is the type of people Libra ascendants attract and how they act on their one-on-one friendships. So Libras attract very self-oriented people because they're so other-oriented, which kind of makes sense, right? Because if they're always reaching out, they attract people that are more focused on not self-serving, not selfish people, but self-oriented people. Typically Aries, because they're so you-oriented. So that's the people they attract. And then in their one-on-one friendships, other people see themselves in them because they attract people that are more focused on their own desires, and they see in other people themselves. They gain their independence actually through other people, their one-on-one friendships. That's how they gain their independence, um, as well. Um, Even though they appear not to be, once they're in their one-on-one friendships, they actually are very independent. The eighth house is one of the coolest ones, in my opinion. It's where every sign has pros and cons. So this is the struggle each ascendant sign would have in life, and where they might have to grow to achieve their dreams and hopes, which is like the 12th house. So the eighth house is in, for Libra ascendant, is in Taurus, which is love and money, finances. So their personal growth might have to come in as through they have a good family work ethic and take a responsibility in their dream, and this inspires their dreams to have a good job and work hard. However, they might struggle financially at one point, and they might struggle with their finances. They might have a hard time with money management, kind of like how I talked about earlier, their second house being in Scorpio. For them to see, they might have to have personal growth and being more. They're probably being more financially stable. They might have problems with being financially stable. Also, keeping a friend group is not necessarily because they're not friendly, but because they prioritize their one-on-one friendships. They have a hard time keeping an actual friend group. If that makes sense. They're so you oriented. So the personal growth to be better at being at small talk and the workforce is to manage finances better potentially, and maintain a strong friend group, not just one-on-one friendships. Not that there's anything wrong with just one-on-one friendships as well. And if they once they do that, they can have a better likelihood of achieving, being more practical, hardworking, and with focusing more on small talk, that's what they're trying to achieve. Because they might talk more about big picture things, like I talked about with the fifth house being in societal problems. Ninth house, knowledge and travel. This is the sign where what causes them to travel and why they travel. Knowledge and travel is in Gemini. So knowledge and travel, when they learn new things and travel, it's in communication intellect. So what they talk and think about is learning new things, what they learn and travel to, and then when they travel and learn new things, they're always thinking about it, and they're always talking about it. So when they travel and when they learn new things, they're traveling, they're more likely to share their personal opinions, and when they learn new things, they're also more likely to share this. 10th house is reputation. 10th house is in Cancer, which represents past home and family. They might have a very prominent family, a well-known family, and they're more well-known, kind of similar to Aquarius. Air signs, ironically, are very friendly and outgoing, but they're actually the reputation's not very well-known, even though they're friendly and outgoing, which is kind of like the ironic part. Aquarius is mysterious, hard, tough to get to know. Libra is similar, but more so, they're more well known from their family rather than themselves potentially. Or they're well known for being emotion based, caring and emotion based, or negatively too emotional potentially. So they have a really prominent family potentially, and they're well known from their family. Similar to how Aquarius is hard to not well known or like mysterious potentially. But and this is because they're so friendly. It's hard to get to know them, if that makes sense. Even though they're so outgoing, it's hard to get to know them as an individual potentially. 11th house is their place in society and how society views them and how they view society. So the 11th house is in Leo. So society views them as entertaining, funny, charismatic, egocentric potentially. Even though they're not super egocentric, and they view society as a place where people can express themselves one-on-one, have place where people can express their opinions one-on-one with each other, not just opinions, but themselves one-on-one with people, and a place where people are meant to grow their confidence and be able to express themselves. And they view society as expressive and egocentric as well. And as entertaining, a place where one finds entertainment, the goal is to find entertainment and express themselves. And then finally, their dreams and desires is to be more practical and realistic instead of get carried away with their dreams. Even though that's good, they might get carried with their dreams and have a hard time actually being financially stable for a while because they're so focused on achieving a big dream, big picture dream for themselves and their job, but not have the practicality and small talk associated with in the workforce, even though they have the work ethic, the workforce ability yet to achieve these big dreams they have for themselves, for their job. So that's their dream, because the reality is in having a big imagination for what they want in life. And that's not a bad thing. And helping other people, but they're just not sure how they want to do that. So yeah, in conclusion, Libra ascendants are friendly, sort of mysterious, well-known family because they're close to their family. They struggle with keeping good finances in friend groups, not because they're not friendly, but because they're one-on-one friendship oriented. They struggle with jobs at some point just because they have a big imagination. They want to have a big successful job, but they have a hard time being practical to achieving those big dreams, even though they're possible. So they might struggle with that for a little while in finances. One in family, personal growth is in building a stronger friend group and finances potentially. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.